So good job. All right, guys, I'm going to have you come lying down. So however you want to get started today, it's Wednesday. It's going to be a bit rainy. If you're feeling excited about the end of the week, you want to sit up tall and feel like, yeah. If you're like, oh my God, it's only Wednesday, lay down and take a rest. Feeling the support of the mat underneath you. Noticing your body's ability to land here, to relax. And we use the idea of focusing on the breath to give you some space from all the other thoughts that move through in the mind. So while I may be the only one that looks forward to it, for me, this is like a big snowstorm. The feeling of all the thoughts kind of just keep coming down and coming down. And the idea of meditation is to slow the snow down. Sometimes things come so fast that it could be like driving on the highway in the snowstorm where you don't even know if you're on the right lines in the road. We use this feeling in meditation and practice to see more clearly. Our actions feel less reactive. That the body can relax instead of driving, gripping the wheel with your shoulders up around your ears. And when you can see with that clarity, because the snow has slowed, and you can make an intention for the practice today. You can see clearly what it is that you need today. You can repeat that word, that phrase to yourself a few times. And consider if there is anyone else that you would like to dedicate or offer your time and practice to. that they might have what they need. Even if there's nothing more that you can do for them than to offer them this time. Fluttering your eyes open now. On an inhale, reach both arms up to the ceiling. Make a few circles in the wrist. And then reverse the circles, opposite direction. Reach both arms way up overhead. Give a big, long stretch. And then if you're lying on your back, you'll make your way over onto your side body. Stay there for a second. Just relax. And then from the side body, pressing yourself all the way up to that seated position. And you can sit on the block or a bolster if it makes it more comfortable for you. Makes it a little easier to sit up straight. That's great to sit on something. Lowering your chin then down into the chest. Roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. Relax the shoulders down. Keep the spine tall. And then the chin back down into the chest, the left ear, the left shoulder. And the chin back down into the chest, a few gentle circles in the neck. First in one direction. And then coming back to center. Forward over your knees at tabletop position. Grounding hands underneath the shoulders, hips over the knees. Warming up in your wrists, so pressing the hands down. Make a few little circles, the shoulders moving over your wrists. And then reversing opposite direction. Good, and then back to center. Turn the right fingers back towards the knee. And then the fingers. Keeping your low belly engaged, a slight bend in your elbows. Back to center, right hand, and then left hand. And then the left hand turns back towards your knee, and then your right hand. Good. Belly stays lifted. Shoulders stay up, and maybe a softening in your elbows. And then back to center, left hand, and then right hand. Good. Lifting the palms off the floor, the fingers stay down, so lifting up together. 1, and then down together. Up, 2, and down. See if you can smooth it out so that it's nice and even. You lift and lower, and lift and lower. And then one more lift and lower. Good. And then turning the backs of the hands down, the fingers face in towards each other, arms stay really straight. If that's too much on the wrist, you can walk the hands back towards your knees, less weight. And then squeeze the fingers together, make a fist. So you're pulling those fingers in and then sending everything back out nice and long. And then squeeze the fingers in, elbows stay really straight. And then send them back out nice and long. Good, and then again, squeeze them in and then release them out nice and long. Good, turn the hands back over. Walk them slightly forward of the shoulders so you have a greater angle. And we'll take a few circles, hips all the way back to the heels. And then over the wrists for 1, 2, and 3, reversing opposite side. 3, 2, and 1. Sitting back towards your heels. And then on an inhale, slide the hands back, come into a tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders. Starting from the sit bone, start to arch the back, looking up, cow pose. And then chin into the chest, rounding through the spine. Cat pose, really try to push the ground away. Again, inhale, look up, let the belly drop down, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest, cat pose. Last time, inhale, look up, shoulder blades squeeze together. Exhale, round, pressing the ground away. And then coming back to center, tabletop position. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, feel free to move around a little bit. You can shake your head, yes or no. You can move in the shoulders or the hips. You can pedal out in the feet, bending and straightening in the knees. This is your time to check in on how this feels today. Maybe it's a little tighter in different spots. Maybe you're looser in different spots. Maybe there's an improvement that you found. And then as you come back to center, start to walk the hands back towards your feet, towards the back of the mat. Separate the feet, let your head hang down. Bend the knees even more. Chest and thighs touch. Keep the chest and thighs touching as you work towards straightening the leg, but the chest and thighs being together is more important than straight legs. Gently rock forward and back, forward and back. Gently rock left and right, left and right. Good, and then taking the hands back down towards the floor. But now, I would like you to try to pull your knees apart a little bit so that they stay in line kind of with those toes. Imagine pulling your heels apart, activating in those outer hips. So your heels don't actually go anywhere. You're just thinking about pulling them apart. Keeping those knees in line so they don't collapse in. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold and walk it back out to a plank position. From your plank position, pushing the ground away a lot. We'll do those serratus push-ups. So the knees can come down, but no sticking your butt way up in the air. So even if the knees are down, you're tucking that tailbone under like sad dog. That's it. So shifting the weight forward, the shoulder blades come together, your arms stay straight, no bend in the elbows. And then your shoulder blades press away from each other all the way up. Exaggerate up, exaggerate down, shoulder blades together. You're going down as deep as you can, no bend in your elbows. And then up as high as you can. So just moving from the shoulder blades and the chest. And if it feels like, oh man, I could do these all day, you can do them from a plank position instead. So there's more weight. Good, all the while keeping that belly engaged so low back stays strong. One more. Good, and then lower the knees down if they're not already. Bring your big toes together, knees wide. And we're gonna keep the butt over the knees for a puppy pose. So walk the hands forward and bring your chest down towards the floor. So we're thinking about rolling those arms externally. So your elbows go in. So external arms. Yep, reaching the chest out. So you're keep dropping this place of the chest towards the floor. If you can get your chest all the way down on the floor, you can lift your head up. You just keep thinking about rolling out in the arms and then reaching through them. And as you reach those shoulder blades, that space right between the shoulder blades, it drops, drops, drops. One more breath here. Awesome. And then however it is that you come out of that, either by sliding forward or sliding back, come on out of that pose. Ground the palms, tuck the toes and hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And I want you to keep those ideas of how the arms rotate. So your elbows are kind of turning in. Your chest is pressing back towards the thighs, but from that space between the shoulder blades, not collapsing. Hips reaching up and back. Shoulders still rolling towards the outside. And take the right leg, lift it up in the air, three-legged down dog, bend the knee, open the hip. Take 3 big circles with that right knee so it goes all the way forward to your nose. Like you come forward a little bit, it comes to your nose, it goes out to the side. Yeah, biggest range of motion from that hip socket. Yeah, so there might be some movements that happen there. Yep, all the way in, all the way out, all the way up, all the way around. One more, and then reverse the direction. So take it the other way for 3, 2, really big. And 1, place the right foot down, left leg up. Same idea. Bend the knee, open the hip, and then start to circle it out. First in one direction, all the way. Use all of the movement you have available. How much space could you make? And then reverse, opposite direction. And then the left foot goes down next to the right. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump, or walk, top of the mat. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing, reaching those arms up, overhead, find a back bend. Pressing the hips forward, 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 squeeze the glutes. And then returning back to center, Tadasana. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hands down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step back, a plank position. A moment in plank, inhale. Press off the toes, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana, exhaling. Inhale, lift upward facing dog or tall cobra. Feel how the back does the work. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, come forward, a plank position. So once again, really pushing the ground away. Feel the upper back lift. Belly stays in. Shoulder blades apart. Lift up in that upper back. More. Yes. Good. So you're lifted as high as you can. Good. Holding there. Separate your feet a little wider. Push here. A little more. From here. Yes. Good. Now, take your right hand and touch your left shoulder. And then place it back down. And then the same thing on the opposite side. No moving in your butt. Slow it down. Touch the shoulder. Release it down. Slow it down. Touch the shoulder. Release it down. All right, take the knees down. Let's take a little rest here. slow. I don't want the hips to move. It's really less about the arm that's doing the moving. It's all about the arm that's staying on the ground and stabilizing. So if I'm holding, bring it down. So if it feels like it has to be, or you're gonna fall, we wanna think more about pulling in from here and connecting the arm that's on the ground into your abs. So if you take your hand out in front of you and push like you were pushing the ground away, it's not just push here, but I want this muscle on the side of my body to pull that arm down as I push. So I'm trying to get this piece, this like lat, to engage. And that's gonna make my arm connect to my belly in a way that goes and supports my back and my sides for my arms. If I try to just do it from up here, it's not enough connection through. So let's try it again. Just give it a try. You can do knees down. You can separate the feet wider. That makes it easier to stabilize side to side. But we'll give this one more shot. So instead of touch and down, see if you can touch, reach, and come down, and that will slow you down just because there's more to do. So pushing the ground away. First side, touch, reach, and down. Butt stays low. Or put your knees down. Touch, reach, and down. Push the ground away. Touch, reach, and down. Engage those lats. Touch, reach, and down. Last one. Touch, reach, and down. Good. Take the knees down. Bring the knees together. Another one of those puppy poses. This time the knees are together. Butt stays over the knees. Arms reach out nice and long. We're trying to drop that chest down. Turning the arms externally so the elbows go in. It feels like internal rotation, but it's actually external rotation when those elbows come in and the palms kind of turn up. That's it. Let's take those hips back a little bit. Even more. Back to your... You okay in the knees? Yeah. Okay. Now reach out as long as you can through those arms. Keep reaching them out. Reach them out, reach them out, reach them out. Turn in from the arms. That's beautiful. And then think about your chest softening to the floor. The letting go. Yes. So hips stay back and chest goes down. Those arms roll out and the chest drops. Oh, that's much better. So nice. How does it feel? Okay. Good. Coming out of that any way that you like. Returning back to center. Good. Ground the palms down. Tuck the toes. Hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into that forward fold at the back of the mat. Good. So first just forward folding, reaching out towards the ground. Chest towards the thigh. See if you can pull the sole of the left foot up off the ground. Grab a hold of that left foot with your hands and pull it up. So heel stays down, toes lift up. Yeah. And then switch sides. So the right foot lifts up. Grab a hold of the sole of the foot. Try to draw it up. Release it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet or hips distance apart. Inhale, bend the knees. Sweep your arms up to the sky, Utkatasana. You're sitting back in a chair that's not there. Good. Don't let those knees collapse together, so pull them out as you sit down. Good. Then see if you can bring your chest up so that it's not just happening at your upper back and your butt is staying out. Lengthening and reaching, sit down a little deeper. Good. Can you roll those shoulders out and then reach through the hands? Good. And then interlace the fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bend the elbows a lot. As you bend those elbows, bend them, squeeze them together. Then reach the knuckles straight out in line with those elbows. Chest against your thighs. And then forward folding. Keep pressing into that imaginary wall. Press, 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 press. Oh, there we go. Yep, keep pressing. Press. Push. Push, push, push. Good. Hands back to your low back. Sit low. Chest lifts away from the thigh bones. Good. So can you feel the way that those shoulders relax away from your ears and then reach out? Not from here, but from the sides. They roll and reach out. Good. And then interlace the fingers behind your back. Bend your elbows a lot. Palms stay together. Keep bending the elbows, sliding those hands up, 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 up. Knuckles keep pointing down, but then squeeze your elbows together. I know. Hold this, and then reach the knuckles straight up. Good. Hold this. Keep squeezing in that space, chest against the thighs. Then press the knuckles into an imaginary wall. More. More. Good. It's time to dance to the low back. Inhale, and then you sweep your arms up to the sky. Utkatasana. I know. Sit. Okay, so I want to move from the arm bone. Can you take that arm, think about your shoulders moving down, pull them down, and then externally rotate them, and then reach them out. So the movement again is coming from your lats and not from your neck. That's it. Sit down nice and deep. Pull into that low belly. So the chest moves away from the thighs. Yeah. So nice. Maybe your arms can get all the way back behind your ears like that. Good. Hands behind your back. This is it. Last thing. Bend those elbows. Good. Bring the hands up the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then straighten the arms. Chest to thighs. Press into that imaginary wall. If this is the hardest thing that you have to do all day, that will be amazing, huh? What a great day this will be. Bend your knees even more. Good. Release the hands down. Straighten the legs. Wiggle them out. I know, it feels pretty warm in here too to me. And I'm just hobbling around. I'm like, whew, sweaty. All right, so forward folding. Bend the knees, hands underneath the feet. So your fingers point back to your heels. The palms are facing up. And you're stepping on them. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Get those toes all the way up to your wrists. The backs of your wrists are down. Lean a little bit into your toes. And then work towards straightening your legs. Yes. Toes stay forward, knees stay forward. And then if you can't, you bend the elbows with those straight legs, chest against the thighs. Try to think about pulling the knees apart at the same time. So we keep those outer heels engaged. Push in here. Yeah, that's it. And then keep the knees right in line. Push into that too. Yeah. One more breath. Good. And then releasing those hands out from your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Walking it back out, downward facing dog. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. Touch down. Take your arms out in front of you like letter Y. Same idea, that same movement that comes from the back of the shoulder. That lifting and lowering. So press the pelvis down into the floor. On an inhale, lift arms and legs up. Lift, everything comes up. And then everything goes down. Good, and then again, everything lifts up. And everything goes down. Good, a little narrower with those hands. Everything comes up. And everything goes down. Good, everything lifts up. Everything comes down. Can we keep this right here? And then lift up from here, lift. Everything comes up. Don't bend it out to the side. Feel how it wants to come from here. Yeah, that's it. And then everything down. Last one, everything up. And then everything down. Yeah, of course. Good. Take it to the side. Interlace those fingers behind your back again. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now we're going to lift just the upper body. You're trying to get your knuckles down to the ground between your legs. I know, right? So funny. I don't care if they touch. The idea is that's where you're headed. All right? So shoulder blades squeeze together, arms really long. Good. And then lift up and then lower down. And then lift up and lower down. That's it, Jamie. You got it. Almost there is right. Lift up and down. And again, up and down. Let's together, press the pelvis down. Keep lifting with those back muscles. Lift, 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 and lower. These are all the things, right? They're so good. All the shoulder stuff. Shoulders and backs of shoulders and back. It's delicious. Hands back underneath those shoulders. Sit back towards your heels. So you come to stand on your knees at the back of the mat and then step right foot forward. All the groans. Groaning, groaning, groaning. Pressing your hips forward. Focus in a little bit here on the glute, the left one. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee up off the ground. And then tap it down for 1. Reach it back, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it up, arms to the sky. Good. Sink the hips low and squeeze in that back butt cheek. Really straightening that back leg. Reach, reach, reach. 2 and 1. Bring the knee back down. Good. Sit back towards that left heel. Straighten the right leg out in front of you. Toes to the sky. Folding forward over that right leg. Chest out. Pull those toes back towards you. Make sure that ankle stays in good alignment. And then rebending into the right knee. Step it back next to the left knee. The left foot steps forward, low lunge on this side. Lunge, making sure that you're set well. Back toes tuck under. Press the hips forward. And then lift the back knee up. 1. And then tap it down. And 2. Tap it down. 3. 4. Come on, straighten that back leg. Straighten it, straighten it. And 5. Straighten it and hold. Arms up to the sky. Good. Heel and knee are in the same line. You're squeezing that right butt. Now sit back towards the right knee. Left leg straightens out in front of you. Toes pointing up towards the sky. Rebending into that left knee, stepping it back to meet the right. So you're kneeling again at the back of the mat. Coming up nice and tall. Take your hands behind your head, elbows wide. So we're back to stabilizing in the core through the arms as well. You're going to tip to the right. And then use your abs to bring you back to center. Good, and then tip to the left. Good. So as you're kneeling, we're not moving in the hips. Back to center. Take the arms out wide. Right? And now I want you to roll them down the back so the palms turn up. They're externally rotated and they stay in this line. So we don't do this where we drop the arm. It stays in this line. Tip to the side. And then use your abs to bring you back to center. And then out to the side. And then use your abs, bring it back to center. Good. Arms up overhead. Elbows turn in. Lats, pull those shoulders in and right into your obliques. Good. Squeeze them in. Tip to the side. Only as far as you can pick yourself back. One more time to the left. And back to center. Good. Hands on your low back. Squeeze those elbows together. Chest lifted. Squeeze your butt. Press those hips forward, finding your camel's pose.